Uh, started the broadcast. Says I'm live streaming, so we'll find out. I have no idea. But this ought to be interesting. There's Adam. Miss. Standing there next to Pence. Boy, that must be kind of uncomfortable for him. Ah!
Well, bringing together is one of the things presidents can do from the dais, but we also know from the excerpts that the White House has released.
So glad they're not running.
Designed to divide and stoke debates. This one where I've said it a couple times, the United States of America should be a sanctuary for law-abiding Americans, not criminal aliens, and he has everything.
Yeah! Let's get rid of the aliens! They're coming to invade us! The caravan is coming!
For the American public at home is going to be well received. You may have people on the Democrat side not want to stand up to it, but actually some of those more socialist-leaning members aren't even attending tonight in protest.
Right, exactly. They have stayed back, as Mary Bruce said. Barbara, thanks very much. I want to pick up on the immigration issue and go to Devin Dwyer. Devin, you were just out in Iowa talking to people up in northeastern Iowa, I believe, about the issue. Donald Trump has changed the way people talk about it, and you heard that.
Yeah, I sure did, Terry. This is an issue that doesn't always divide evenly along party lines as well. Northeast Iowa relies on immigrants for their economy, like so many other parts of this country. And even though it voted for Donald Trump by 29 points back in the election in 2016, they were very concerned about the president's
Oh, it is the Chief Justice. I was going to say, I thought she just announced the Chief Justice. And the Supreme Court. Ah, they came out to listen to him. Wonder if Alito will make any comments.
They want some common sense as we see the Supreme Court justices that we were talking about earlier, Terry, coming into the chamber right now. And so I think you're going to see the president use this moment tonight to pivot away from immigration, as Barbara was mentioning. You're going to see Democrats try to do the same thing. This is a big audience for both parties. 47 million people tuning in tonight, Terry. We'll hear a lot about health care and immigration, two issues you're going to hear a lot about headed into this campaign this fall.
All right, thanks, Devin. I want to go to Byron for some final thoughts here on the person of Donald Trump, the personality. Politicians tend to be, used to be, about addition. Big, inclusive statements, get as many voters as you can. But Donald Trump came to office with this deliberately divisive rhetoric.
Yes, but they all said he's a great.
I expect
he's a great, whatever you call it.
There are things he can talk about that he's done well with that would grow the tent larger. You know, his work with criminal justice reform.
And the Super Bowl ad.
Yes,
he started his re-election campaign with that ad.
Just today, I interviewed 50 Cent for a story I'm working on, and he talked about criminal justice reform and gave a nod to the President of the United States. And so you would think there would be a way for him to lean into that to enlarge the tent. But as you said, that's not his style.
Do you think he's doing that criminal justice reform and that ad where there was a black woman that got out of prison? Is he looking to take black voters away from the Democratic Party, or is he sending a message to other voters, to white voters?
He's so full of crap with that commercial. Did you guys see the Young Turks?
That it is the second, right? That it is an effort to show that, see, despite what people say about me, look at what I've done.
I didn't see it, but
I'm
glad.
I think, and certainly in many minority communities, on a host of issues, this president is not seen as someone who welcomes them into the tent.
Not so far, anyway. Well, we are going to take a break. When we come back, you'll be on the network with George Stephanopoulos to see the president's State of the Union address. The Congress, the diplomatic corps, the Supreme Court all assembled. And the President of the United States will enter that chamber shortly and probably take a bit of a victory lap on the economy and on impeachment as he stands before the Congress that did it. We'll be back.
That's really disgusting. You know, that's just so disgusting. I'll tell you. You know, if I was him, I'd be pretty embarrassed. And he is. His son's embarrassed is what it is. Oh, it's hard on my family. This is embarrassing. I mean, yeah, that's his son's in school learning about civics and class and stuff. I was his age. Nixon was being impeached, and we learned what a crook he was. So, you know, maybe you're going to learn the same thing. You know, maybe your son's learning the same thing. But, you know, I don't know. I mean, he's coming out as king. He's gonna, you know, I'm sure I'm sure his speechwriters told him, do not stray from this speech. You know, because if he opens his mouth, he's gone. So he'll be like, it's Nixon moment. Did you see him dancing and disrespecting during the national anthem? I mean, I don't stand for the national anthem, you know, but I don't make fun of it like he was. He was making fun of it. I mean, making fun of it? It's kind of ridiculous. But, you know, that's the state that we're in. He's, you know, and me, I think we need to just end this country. Wipe it off the face of the map and start a new one with a new name that won't start out with slavery or genocide or anything like that. You know, it's the best thing I can think of, you know. A whole new system, whole new constitution. You know, this time one that's for real, you know, not like the fake one. It's like, yeah, we get all these rights, unless you're a black man, unless you're a poor man, unless you're a man. You know, I mean, women didn't have the right to vote for, man, well over 100 years, 150 years almost. Something like that, 150 years. Women, 156 I think it is, had no right to vote. I mean, every right we've had, we had to beg for, fight for. The 40-hour work week. I mean, police and their union. I mean, those guys used to work every day of the week. Coal miners. It's just heartbreaking that I've seen this happen. And, you know, whatever. The USA is over. It's now Trump land. You know? But if I can help it, no. We don't need Trump land. There's a president. He should be coming on real soon. There it is.
Good evening and welcome to our special coverage of the State of the Union. These annual speeches always a moment of high political theater.
This guy's such a kiss ass.
Takes it to a brand new level. The president about to enter a House chamber where just 7 weeks ago he was impeached. That has happened before. Bill Clinton in 1999. But Trump is now the first president in American history to face re-election after impeachment. This addressed the kickoff of his 2020 campaign. He enters the chamber one day before senators.
And of course, the Republicans will all stand up and cheer.
And one day after
I don't know what the Democrats will do.
Iowa's Democratic caucus. As we come on the air tonight, still no official winner.
They're probably glad he's still president.
Oh
God. Oh God, that thing is ugly. Oh God.
Have been polling best against President Trump.
Trump tards love that.
And tonight, the president's audience in the chamber even more split than we've come to expect.
It's as if Mick Jagger and Steve Tyler, you know, got together and had a baby. That's who it would look like, Mrs. Trump. I should put up the photo of her naked.
And all this against the backdrop of an economy growing for its 11th straight year, the longest expansion in American history. That, plus overwhelming support from his GOP base, has driven Trump's approval to the highest levels of his presidency. So expect a buoyant speech tonight. World News anchor David Muir is in Washington. David, we joined a group for lunch with the president earlier today. He clearly believes he's in the driver's seat as we start this election year.
Yeah, really no question about that, George. Fully aware of those poll numbers.
Yep.
The Gallup number.
We'll see if he,
50%. That's an all-time high for this presidency. We know the number
makes a big stink about it or not.
Aware at all times where the polls are. Also aware of the strong economy. He'll talk about that quite a bit tonight. The Dow hitting 29,000 for the first time in recent weeks. And as you pointed out, George, it's not the elephant in the room. Everyone in Washington aware that the president is on the eve of acquittal in the Senate impeachment trial. He has survived the impeachment hearings and the trial. All eyes on the president, but also all eyes tonight on House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. And I have to tell you, George,
after we met with democracy is truly over. 100%. This man has been made king if this happens.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, who confirmed this afternoon that she has.
I want to see if he's going to come in strutting, or if he's going to come in like he left the EU when they all stood around and laughed at him.
To announce the president.
Here we go.
Madam Speaker, the President of the United States.
Ah, Your Highness. Ah, Your Highness.
President working his way up the aisle there.
Ew.
Bruce, our senior congressional correspondent. If the president is buoyant, Democrats defiant?
George, we are now seeing the president coming face-to-face for the first time with his accusers in this impeachment process. The body language alone here tonight is going to be fascinating. There is a lot of tension in that room. While it is not clear whether the president's going to bring up impeachment, it is clear that this is going to be a very awkward moment for many inside that chamber. You mentioned House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. She, of course, will be over his shoulder throughout this entire speech, having led her party in impeachment.
She should go like this, you know, behind his head.
Directly in his opposite tonight will be those House managers who have been leading the case against the president in the Senate. Now, Republicans that I have talked to here are urging the president to steer clear of the subject of impeachment entirely, while Democrats are bracing for the president to take something of a victory lap. And in fact, George, roughly a dozen Democrats are simply sitting it out, saying they don't want to dignify the president's actions with their presence here tonight.
President there shaking the hand of Chief Justice John Roberts, who of course has been presiding over the Senate trial. Nobody heard what they were saying right there. John Carl is in the chamber as well, John. And John, in part because of impeachment, this is State of the Union a little later than most years, which means it came right after that Iowa caucus yesterday. The president reveling in that confusion.
He called it, George, an unmitigated disaster this morning, but he is positively giddy about the chaos and the uncertainty among the Democrats, while he has strengthened his grip on the Republican Party going into the campaign.
I got a real bad feeling right here.
President walking up to the podium. Let's see that encounter with the House Speaker, Nancy Pelosi. He will hand both the Speaker and the Vice President a copy of his speech.
He didn't even look at her. She's like, woo! They didn't even look at each other. Well, she tried, I think, but I know he didn't even look at her. He was too embarrassed. I think she saw that. And of course, George Stephanopoulos, he's not saying crap about it.
Talk radio host, you see him right there, who of course announced yesterday fighting lung cancer.
Members of Congress, the President of the United States.
There you see the whole chamber. Expect many times tonight for one side to be cheering, the other to be sitting. And notice all that white in the room. Any members of Congress.
Oh my God! They sold out. They definitely sold out. I bet you he paid them all off and he's got it all on tape. He's got it all recorded. I'm giving them like $3 to $5 million bucks a piece.
Mr. Vice President,
Give me $5 million bucks.
the First Lady of the United States.
I say you'll have to sweeten it up a little bit more. I say you don't even have to pay off. He's just like, you know, whatever, I want to keep you. Isn't she beautiful?
3 years ago, we launched the Great American Comeback. Tonight, I stand before you to share the incredible results. Jobs are booming, incomes are soaring, poverty is plummeting, crime is falling.
Yeah, the same look I had. Like, yeah, it is.
Is thriving and highly respected again.
Yeah, highly respected. Oh my God, they were laughing at him in Europe. All of them laughing. He put his little dick between his legs and went crying home.
America's enemies are on the run. America's fortunes are on the rise, and America's future is blazing bright. The years of economic decay are over.
I'd like to know if that's true or not. I know the farmers are hurting.
The days of our country being used, taken advantage of, and even scorned by other nations are long behind us.
What is Nancy looking at? Nancy's like, what? Trying to keep up with the speech. Seeing if he's staying on script.
And constant excuses for the depletion of American wealth, power, and prestige. In just 3 short years, we have shattered the mentality of American decline, and we have rejected the downsizing of Americans' destiny. We have totally rejected the downsizing. We're moving forward at a pace that was unimaginable just a short time ago, and we are never, ever going back.
All the white men are like, yeah! And all the black ladies are like, oh my God! Oh my God!
Thrilled to report to you tonight that our economy is the best.
I can't believe.
Our military is completely rebuilt, with its power being unmatched anywhere in the world, and it's not even close.
Like it was bad when he got there.
Our families are flourishing. Our values are renewed. Our pride is restored. And for all of these reasons, I say to the people of our great country and to the members of Congress, the state of our union is stronger than ever before.
Ever in our history. It was I who gave you this. I hate that face he makes.
This evening demonstrates how we are building the world's most prosperous and inclusive society,
one where every citizen can join in America's unparalleled success, and where every community can take part in America's extraordinary rise. From the instant I took office, I moved rapidly to revive the U.S. economy, slashing a record number of job-killing regulations, enacting historic and record-setting tax cuts, and fighting for fair and reciprocal trade agreements. Our agenda is relentlessly pro-worker, pro-family, pro-growth, and most of all, pro-American.
Who's that fat guy? That big fatty. Who the heck was he? I didn't recognize him. I guess that's it. Look at all the white boys. All the girls.
With unbridled optimism and lifting our citizens of every race, color, religion, and creed very, very high. Since my election, we have created 7 million new jobs, 5 million more than government experts projected during the previous administration.
I'll bet that's will be fact-checked to be incorrect. No doubt, I'll bet. I don't know. Who knows? Hey, you need the jobs. You got the people coming into the job market every year.
The unemployment rate is the lowest in over half a century. And very incredibly, the average unemployment rate under my administration.
Yeah, but it's been on the downslide since Obama.
Administration in the history of our country. If we hadn't reversed the failed economic policies of the previous administration, the world would not now be witnessing this great economic success.
You gotta make a lot of people poor to make yourself rich.
The unemployment rate for African Americans, Hispanic Americans, and Asian Americans has reached the lowest levels in history.
At least you didn't screw that one up.
African American youth unemployment has reached an all-time low. African American poverty has declined to the lowest rate
Widespread panic.
recorded.
All-time low.
The unemployment rate for women reached the lowest level in almost 70 years, and last year women filled 72% of all new
Nancy's gonna jump up in the chair. Nope. Oh, the girls don't seem to agree with them.
The veterans' unemployment rate dropped to a record low.
Yeah, now that they're all offing themselves and have offed themselves since that war began 20 years ago.
The unemployment rate for disabled Americans has reached an all-time low.
Widespread panic. All-time low. Uh-oh, there's a token Republican.
Without a high school diploma have achieved the lowest unemployment rate recorded in U.S. history. A record number of young Americans are now employed. Under the last administration, more than 10 million people were added to the food stamp rolls. Under my administration, 7 million Americans have come off food stamps and 10 million people have been lifted off of welfare.
Now, I got a friend, and his food stamps were taken from him. And he didn't understand why, and I told him, because that's what this guy's doing. He's see, they're all laughing about it. It's like, yeah, because you made it. Look at that smirk. Oh! I can't stand that smirk.
In 8 years under the last administration, over
He's going to stick to script.
working-age people dropped out of the workforce.
He will stick to
In
script.
just 3 years of my administration, 3.5 million people, working-age people, have joined.
He didn't get those people off food stamps. He took them off food stamps. People who needed them. It's not like it was a happy thing. Still reeling over that.
Since my election, the net worth of the bottom half of wage earners has increased by 47%, 3 times faster than the increase for the top 1%.
That would have to be fact-checked.
And falling incomes, wages are rising fast, and wonderfully, they are rising fastest for low-income workers who have seen a 16% pay increase since my election.
No, since we started going for the $15 minimum wage, long before you became president.
This is a blue-collar boom.
All the millionaires stand up and cheer. Yeah, we got slaves. They're working for us. All right, we're going to make poor people out of them and get rich.
The median household income is now at the highest level ever recorded.
Yeah, I really, like I said, give me the GAO, what they say.
70%, adding more than $12 trillion to our nation's wealth, transcending anything anyone believed was possible. This is a record. It is something that every country in the world is looking up to. They admire.
Well, why do you have like one of the highest deficits ever?
Consumer confidence has just reached amazing new highs. All of those millions of people with 401ks and pensions are doing far better than they have ever done before, with increases of 60, 70, 80, 90, and 100% and even more.
That's the half that submits. To remind them, they could be like the bottom half if they don't stay in line.
Opportunity zones, a plan spearheaded by Senator Tim Scott as part of our great Republican tax cuts.
All right, we got the token black guy out there. Right on. Yeah, there's a greedy one right there. Yeah. All right. Where's my black guy? Where's he at? Where's he at?
Into poor neighborhoods or areas that haven't seen investment in many decades, creating jobs, energy, and excitement.
You know, if you're into this greed, hey, I don't mind as long as you don't claim to be Christian.
Time that these deserving communities have seen anything like this. It's all working. Opportunity zones are helping Americans like Army veteran Tony Rankins from Cincinnati, Ohio. After struggling with drug addiction, Tony lost his job, his house, and his family. He was homeless. But then Tony found a construction company that invests in
they found another black guy they could exploit.
now a top tradesman, drug-free, reunited with his
He has no shame, this guy.
tonight. Tony, keep up the great work, Tony.
He didn't say to rise. He didn't say to take a bow. He just said, keep up the good work. He should have been like, yeah, man, right on, whatever. Yeah, all right. You let yourself get used, Tony. What do you call that? A house what?
Thank you, Tony.
Thank you for doing that.
For the first time ever, given many former prisoners the ability to get a great job and a fresh start. This second chance at life is made possible because we passed landmark criminal justice reform into law. Everybody said that criminal justice reform couldn't be done, but I got it done, and the people in this room got it done.
I think she's looking at it like, what is he talking about? He hasn't done any criminal justice reform, really. Well, maybe he did. Who knows?
Thanks to our
I don't believe anything this guy says.
Campaign, the United States has become the #1 producer of oil and natural gas anywhere in the world, by far.
Why is our prices so high? We can lower them. Why do we got to keep giving these oil company owners few guys? And the Christian back there, he loves it. He's like, yeah, we're rich. Praise Jesus, we're rich.
That no one would have thought possible just 3 years ago. Likewise, we are restoring our nation's manufacturing might, even though predictions were, as you all know, that this could never, ever be done. After losing 60,000 factories under the previous 2 administrations,
I want to fact check that too.
Gained 12,000 new factories under my administration, with thousands upon thousands of plants and factories being planned or being built.
What? 12,000? There's no way. There's no way. Are we doing that good? I gotta fact check that. That just sounds too hard to believe.
The fact is that everybody wants to be where the action is, and the United States of America is indeed the place where the action is. One of the biggest promises I made to the American people.
Yeah, you want a piece of the action?
Disastrous NAFTA trade deal.
Yeah, I renamed it. Same deal, but different name.
In fact, unfair trade is perhaps the single biggest reason that I decided to run for president. Following NAFTA's adoption,
hey, I agree with him on NAFTA here.
Manufacturing jobs. Many politicians came and went pledging to change or replace NAFTA, only to do so, and then absolutely nothing happened. But unlike so many who came before me,
nothing happened with him either, I don't think.
We did our job.
He just renamed, I think, what it was already. Oh, God. Oh, it's Steve Mnuchin. Where's my really hot, sexy wife that would not be near me if I wasn't this boring and rich?
The USMCA will create nearly 100,000 new high-paying American auto jobs and massively boost exports for our farmers, ranchers, and factory workers.
I hate that look, that iguana look.
Bring trade with Mexico and Canada to a much higher level, but also to be a much greater degree of fairness and reciprocity. We will have that fairness and reciprocity, and I say that finally because it's been many, many years that we were treated fairly on trade. This is the first major trade deal in many years to earn the strong backing of America's labor unions. I also promised our citizens that I would impose tariffs to confront China's massive theft of America's jobs. Our strategy has worked. Days ago,
we're making people poor all over the world so we can get rich.
Protect our intellectual property, bring billions and
well then how come the Russians downloaded over 10,000
products made and grown right here in the USA.
Audiobooks of Without a Gun. About you. I'm a household name there in Russia. Go to google.ru. Put me in, put in Without a Gun. Put in.
Has taken advantage of the United States. Now we have changed that. But at the same time, we have perhaps the best relationship we've ever had with China, including with President Xi. They respect what we've done because, quite frankly, they could never really believe that they were able to get away with what they were doing year after year, decade after decade, without someone in our country stepping up and saying, that's enough. Now we want to rebuild our country, and that's exactly what we're doing. We're rebuilding our country. As we restore American leadership throughout the world, we are once again standing up for freedom in our hemisphere. That's why my administration reversed the failing policies of the previous administration on Cuba.
Oh, I can't do that face.
We are supporting the hopes of Cubans, Nicaraguans, and Venezuelans to restore democracy.
And the one where he disappears his chin.
A 59-nation diplomatic coalition against
Pretty much gone already.
The dictator of Venezuela, Nicolas Maduro. Maduro is an illegitimate ruler, a tyrant who brutalizes his people, but Maduro's grip on tyranny will be smashed and broken. Here this evening is a very brave man who carries with him the hopes, dreams, and aspirations of all Venezuelans.
It's got to be a minority, of course, from Venezuela.
Legitimate president of Venezuela, Juan Guaido. Mr. President.
Wow. Can he get home though? Yeah, but can you get safely back home? Of course, you know you have to play ball with our new king, right? You have to get dirt on Biden if you want to be put in there. You want us to go down there and clear him out? We want the dirt, dude. And that's how I play now. That's how I roll.
Please take this message back that all Americans are united with the Venezuelan people in their righteous struggle for freedom. Thank you very much, Mr. President.
You know, I really miss that little shrimp that used to run that place. He had that place running like a fine-tooth comb. They were very prosperous. What's his name? Owned Sitco.
Thank you very much.
Died.
Socialism destroys nations, but always remember freedom unifies the soul.
Socialism destroys freedom.
To safeguard American liberty, we have invested.
That's what this is about.
$2.2 trillion in the United States military.
That's ridiculous. See, and socialism sucks because they don't want to give it to the army. They want to give it to themselves. And see, these guys are like, man, this dude's just going to be like, fuck socialism.
We purchased the finest planes, missiles, rockets, ships, and every other form of military equipment.
So what?
It's all made right here in the USA.
That's why you don't want to stop buying that stuff and stop fighting, because it keeps you employed.
Finally, to help pay their fair share.
That's only fair.
Contributions from other NATO members by more than $400
billion. That's something I probably would do too.
And the number of allies meeting their minimum obligations.
Like I said, there's a few things this guy does that I
and just weeks ago,
think he should do and does do.
President Truman established the Air Force more than 70 years earlier. We created a brand new branch
What did he say?
of
What
the
did he say?
United States Armed Forces. It's called the Space Force.
Dun da 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 da. Dun da 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 da. Da 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 da.
Young gentleman, and what he wants so badly.
Oh, another brown person. See how nice I am?
He's an 8th grader from Arizona. Ian, please stand up. Ian has always dreamed of going to space. He was the first in his class and among the youngest at an aviation academy. He aspires to go to the Air Force Academy, and then he has his eye on the Space Force. As Ian says, most people look up at space. I want to look down on the world.
Telling you, he's doing good with the minorities. He's really pandering. This guy is such a con artist, I'll tell you. He's such a con man.
But sitting behind Ian tonight is his greatest hero of them all. Charles McGee was born in Cleveland, Ohio, 1 century ago. Charles is one of the last surviving Tuskegee Airmen, the first black fighter pilots, and he also happens to be Ian's great-grandfather.
That's not true. My neighbor's a Tuskegee Airman. I'm going to have to go talk to him tomorrow. He says he's from the first graduating class at Tuskegee. He's like 95 years old.
Incredible story.
Maybe they went to him and he doesn't like Trump, so they're gonna.
Combat missions in World War II.
Man.
He came back home to a country still struggling for civil rights and went on to serve America in Korea and Vietnam. On December 7th, Charles celebrated his 100th birthday.
Wow. I gotta go talk to my neighbor tomorrow. This is wild. I gotta go talk to him. I'm gonna find out what's going on. I'm gonna find out what's going on.
A few weeks ago, I signed a bill promoting
this is
Charles
BS.
McGee.
This is BS. My neighbor was in the first graduating class at Tuskegee.
I pinned the stars on his shoulders in the Oval Office. General McGee, our nation salutes you. Thank you, sir. From the Pilgrims to the founders, from the soldiers at Valley Forge to the marchers at Selma, and from President Lincoln to the Reverend Martin Luther King, Americans have always rejected limits on our children's future. Members of Congress, we must never forget that the only victories that matter in Washington are victories that deliver for the American people. The people are the heart of our country. Their dreams are the soul of our country, and their love is what powers and sustains our country. We must always remember that our job is to put America first.
So what I did by saying give me dirt on the Bidens, I was doing for America, so we can continue this prosperity and I can remain king and not go to jail. That's where he's headed.
That every young American gets a great education and the opportunity to achieve the American dream. Yet for too long, countless American children have been trapped in failing government schools. To rescue these students, 18 states have created school choice in the form of opportunity scholarships. The programs are so popular that tens of thousands of students remain on a waiting list. One of those students is Janiah Davis, a fourth grader from Philadelphia.
Another person of color. Oh my God, oh my God, this has got to be a record. It has to be a record. Oh my God. See, he likes the minorities. He's not a racist.
Janiah's mom, Stephanie, is a single parent. She would do anything to give her daughter a better future. But last year, that future was put further out of reach when Pennsylvania's governor vetoed legislation to expand school choice to 50,000 children. Janiah and Stephanie.
Yeah, the little girl's looking at, what? What's he talking about, Mama?
Thank you so much for being here with your beautiful daughter. Thank you very much.
I think that little girl's going to remember that moment all her life.
But Janiah, I have some good news for you, because I am pleased to inform you that your long wait is over. I can proudly announce tonight that an opportunity scholarship has become available. It's going to you, and you will soon be heading to the school of your choice.
If you're smart enough. Which I'm sure she is. Who's the big fat white guy that keeps with the thumb? Who's that guy?
Now I call on Congress to give 1 million American children the same opportunity Janiah has just received. Pass the Education Freedom Scholarships and Opportunities Act, because no parent should be forced to send their child to a failing government school.
Yeah, I was just going to say, and look at, there she is. Oh, she's rigging it so that she can bank when this is, oh, man. Talk about a swamp.
For this reason, our magnificent First Lady has launched the Be Best initiative to advance
Be Best my ass.
Supportive and drug-free life for the next generation. Online, in school, and in
Aren't I great?
Thank you, Melania, for your extraordinary love and profound care for America's children. Thank you very much.
Ah, to the children. That's fine. She's like, yeah, thank you. I know you're thanking me, but I'm going to say thank you for making me feel great. I know it's full of shit, but...
The administration is determined to give our citizens the opportunities they need, regardless of age or background. Through our pledge to American workers, over 400 companies will also provide new jobs and education opportunities to almost 15 million Americans. My budget also contains an exciting vision for our nation's high schools. Tonight, I ask Congress to support our students and back my plan to offer vocational and technical education in every single high school in America.
Oh, I spaced that out. What was he saying? What was he talking about? I don't know. Betsy DeVos is involved. It ain't going to be good for us. Mitch McConnell don't look too happy. He's just like, yeah.
I am also proud that we achieved record and permanent funding for our nation's historically black colleges and universities. A good life for American families also requires the most affordable, innovative, and high-quality health care system on earth. Before I took office, health insurance premiums had more than doubled in just 5 years. I moved quickly to provide affordable alternatives. Our new plans are up to 60% less expensive and better. I've also made an ironclad pledge to American families.
He's really sticking to script.
Patients with pre-existing conditions.
Yeah, right. That's what they're telling you. Yeah. Right.
And we will always protect your Medicare, and we will always protect your Social Security, always.
This guy just loves to lie. He's so full of it.
The American patient should never be blindsided by medical bills.
That's socialism.
That is why I signed an executive order requiring price transparency.
Social Security is socialism. We've got to get rid of it. It's every man for yourself.
Many experts believe that transparency, which will go into full effect at the beginning of next year, will be even bigger than health care reform. It will save families massive amounts of money for substantially better care. But as we work to improve Americans' health care, there are those who want to take away your health care, take away your doctor, and abolish private insurance entirely. 132 lawmakers in this room have endorsed legislation to impose a socialist takeover of our health care system, wiping out the private health insurance plans of 180 million very happy Americans. To those watching
that are going broke from it.
We will never let socialism destroy.
No, that's something Jesus wants. And there's your Christian in the background saying, yes, we're going to destroy what Jesus wants. This, I'm telling you, these people are evil. They're evil.
Over 130 legislators in this chamber have endorsed legislation that would bankrupt our nation by providing free taxpayer-funded health care to millions of illegal aliens, forcing taxpayers to subsidize free care.
And Jesus would never do something like that.
Crosses our borders. These proposals would raid the Medicare benefits of our seniors and that our seniors depend on, while acting as a powerful.
They use their this religious bullshit that they all believe in or pretend to believe in as a front. I mean, look at the way the Christian that's over here on the, yeah, over his right shoulder there. He's the biggest hypocrite around. I heard his wife's really greedy.
Then stand with the radical left. But if you believe that we should defend American patients and American seniors, then stand with me and pass legislation to prohibit free government health care.
Well, he's reading that script. Boy, was he reading that script, staying on that script right there. Mitch McConnell's like, I'm excited,
This will be a tremendous boon to our already very strongly guarded southern border, where, as we speak,
did he say boon?
a long, tall, and very powerful wall is being built.
Right, even though we're finding all these tunnels that go for like a mile. You guys are crazy. It's not to keep out drugs, it's to keep out people.
500 miles fully completed in a very short period of time.
Yes, that's what Jesus would do.
Have substantially more than 500 miles completed. My administration is also taking on the big pharmaceutical companies. We have approved a record number of affordable generic drugs and medicines are being approved by the FDA at a faster clip than ever before.
Why is everybody standing up here? My knees are hurting me. God damn it, just sit down.
The cost of prescription drugs actually
Grassley.
down.
Guy's like over 80. He's like 85 years old, something like that.
And working together, Congress can
No one would hire him, so he ran for office.
From current levels. I've been speaking to Senator Chuck Grassley of Iowa and others in Congress in order to get something on drug pricing done and done quickly and properly. I'm calling for bipartisan legislation that achieves the goal of dramatically lowering prescription drug prices. Get a bill on my desk and I will sign it into law immediately.
You know, they probably already passed one, but Mitch McConnell hasn't let it go to the Senate for a vote. I'll bet you. I'll bet you. Because you know Trump, he lies about everything.
With unyielding commitment, we are curbing the opioid epidemic. Drug overdose.
Whoa, what were the girls bitching about?
First time in nearly 30 years. Among the states hardest hit, Ohio is down 22%, Pennsylvania is down 18%, Wisconsin is down 10%, and we will not quit until we have beaten the opioid epidemic once and for all.
Must be yelling about the opioid epidemic. How are they? Nancy's like.
Protecting Americans' health also means fighting infectious diseases. We are coordinating with the Chinese government and working closely together on the coronavirus outbreak in China. My administration will take all necessary steps to safeguard our citizens from this threat. We have launched ambitious new initiatives to substantially improve care for Americans with kidney disease, Alzheimer's, and those struggling with mental health. And because Congress was so good as to fund my request, new cures for childhood cancer, and we will eradicate the AIDS epidemic in America by the end of this decade. Almost every American family knows the pain when a loved one is diagnosed with a serious illness. Here tonight is a special man.
Why do I believe that?
Beloved by millions of Americans who just received a
He's black, I'm sure.
advanced cancer diagnosis.
Oh God, not Rush.
This is not good news.
Ugh.
But what is good news is that he is the greatest fighter and winner that you will ever meet. Rush Limbaugh, thank you for your decades of tireless devotion to our country.
He's conservative. Rush made millions of dollars. He made like something like over $1 million a month. You know, I almost went for water.
In recognition of all that you have done for our nation.
Oh, God.
The millions of people a day
Oh, yeah.
that you speak to and that you inspire.
We're about 5 minutes or 10. 5 or 10 minutes a day.
For charity. I am proud to announce tonight that you will be receiving our country's highest civilian honor, the Presidential Medal of Freedom.
God, no. Oh, God, this is so stupid. Oh, my God. Oh, you might as well give one to Sean Hannity. Oh, don't tell me he's going to get all choked up. Oh, you got to be kidding. He thinks he deserves it? Come on. For all you do. You're just a broadcaster. Well, I guess you're telling the truth. Keeping capitalism alive. Got to give you the award because you're going to make sure socialism stays put and stay a millionaire. We're going to keep you rolling in millions.
With the honor, please.
Oh, come on. Oh, God. Yeah, I thought he was cute when Clinton was being impeached, but after that, he just wasn't very funny. Oh, Maron.
Rush and Catherine, congratulations. Thank you, Catherine. As we pray for all who are sick, we know
He
that
seems quite
America is
lucid
constantly
tonight.
achieving new medical breakthroughs. In 2017, doctors at St. Luke's Hospital in Kansas City delivered one of the earliest premature babies ever to survive. Born
Unless
at just
everything is
21
scripted,
weeks and
even
6
his...
days, and weighing less than a pound, Ellie Schneider was a born fighter. Through the skill of her doctors and the prayers of her parents,
More
little
exploitation.
Ellie kept on winning the battle of life. Today, Ellie is a strong, healthy 2-year-old girl sitting with her amazing mother, Robin. In the gallery, Ellie and Robin, we are glad to have you with us tonight.
Oh. I'd say person of color, not a white girl.
Ellie reminds us that every child is a miracle of life. And thanks to modern medical wonders, 50% of very premature babies delivered at the hospital where Ellie was born now survive. It's an incredible thing. Thank you very much. Our goal should be to ensure that every baby has the best chance to thrive and grow just like Ellie. That is why I'm asking Congress to provide an additional $50 million to fund neonatal research for America's youngest patients. That is why I'm also calling upon members of Congress here tonight to pass legislation finally banning the late-term abortion of babies.
What does that mean? What's late term? Like after like 6 months? Duh. I really don't know what it is. I'm trying to see what Nancy's thinking about it.
Republican, Democrat, or Independent, surely we must all agree that every human life is a sacred gift from God. As we support America's moms and dads, I was recently proud to sign the law providing new parents in the federal workforce paid family leave, serving as a model for the rest of the country.
That sounds like Ilhan Omar going, yes, yes. But just for us, not the rest of the country.
Congress to pass the bipartisan Advancing Support for Working Families Act, extending family leave to mothers and fathers all across our nation.
There we go. Yeah. There we go. Good boy.
40 million American families have an average $2,200 extra thanks to our child tax credit.
I bet there's something not right about that statistic.
I've also overseen historic funding increases for high-quality child care, enabling 17 states to help more children, many of which have reduced or eliminated their wait lists altogether. And I sent Congress a plan with a vision to further expand access to high-quality child care and urge you to act immediately. To protect the environment, days ago I announced
This guy's staying on script so perfectly tonight.
Initiative, an ambitious effort to bring together government and private sector to plant new trees in America and all around the world.
I used to plant trees. There's got to be something about that. They're like, God, I hate that. That iguana face. They ought to call him iguana face.
America's infrastructure.
Iguana face should be like, you know, trending on Twitter. What's he yapping about?
Highway bill to invest in new roads, bridges, and tunnels all across our land. I'm also committed to ensuring that every citizen can have access to high-speed internet, including and especially in rural America. A better tomorrow for all Americans also requires us to keep America safe. That means supporting the men and women of law enforcement at every level, including our nation's heroic ICE officers.
Remember, they're the ones that are putting away the brown people, so don't mess with those guys. They're our heroes.
Last year, our brave ICE officers arrested more than 120,000 criminal aliens charged with nearly 10,000 burglaries, 5,000 sexual assaults, 45,000 violent assaults, and 2,000 murders.
What?
There are many cities in America where radical politicians have chosen to provide sanctuary for these criminal.
These statistics have got to be wrong.
Cities, local officials,
and I'll bet the rebuttal they'll say that.
Criminal aliens to prey upon the public instead of handing them over to ICE to be safely removed. Just 29 days ago, a criminal alien freed by the sanctuary city of New York was charged with the brutal rape and murder of a 92-year-old woman. The killer had been previously arrested for assault, but under New York sanctuary policies, he was set free. If the city had honored ICE's detainer request, his victim would still be alive today. The state of California passed an
pull that one guy out. Oh my God, how many did you just say there were?
For criminal, illegal immigrants.
And you pulled out only one example?
Terrible sanctuary with catastrophic results. Here is just one tragic example.
Yes, because Jesus could be coming through there, and we can't have that. We got to get rid of him.
With 5 prior arrests, including convictions for robbery and assault. But as required by California's sanctuary law, local authorities released him. Days later, the criminal alien went on a gruesome spree of deadly violence. He viciously shot one man going about his daily work. He approached a woman sitting in her car and shot her in the arm and in the chest. He walked into a convenience store and wildly fired his weapon. He hijacked a truck and smashed into vehicles, critically injuring innocent victims. One of the victims is a terrible, terrible situation. Died, 51-year-old American named
the teleprompter. He's just reading. I don't think he knows what. I don't even know if he knows what he's saying.
Rocky left behind a devoted family, including his brothers, who loved him more than anything else in the world. One of his grieving brothers is here with us tonight. Jody, would you please stand? Jody, thank you. Jody, our hearts weep for your loss, and we will not rest until you have justice. Senator Tom Tillis has introduced legislation to allow Americans like Jody to sue sanctuary cities and states when a loved one is hurt or killed as a result of these deadly practices. I ask Congress to pass the Justice for Victims of Sanctuary Cities Act immediately. The United States of America should be a sanctuary for law-abiding
There's a political ploy right there.
Aliens.
That's not going to ever fly. It's never going to happen. He just said that.
Just signed 9 pieces of legislation to stamp out the menace of human trafficking domestically and all around the globe. My administration has undertaken an unprecedented effort to secure the southern border of the United States.
Well, what about the northern one? Oh, that's right. There's white people up there.
Before I came into office, if you showed up illegally on our southern border and were arrested, you were simply released and allowed into our country, never to be seen again. My administration has ended catch and release. If you come illegally, you will now be promptly removed from our country. Very importantly, we entered into historic cooperation agreements with the governments of Mexico, Honduras, El Salvador, and Guatemala. As a result of our unprecedented efforts, illegal crossings are down 75% since May, dropping 8 straight months in a row.
That's true. There must be some reason, though, other mitigating factors.
Drug seizures rise, and the border crossings are going down, and going down very rapidly. Last year, I traveled to the border in Texas and met Chief Patrol Agent Raul Ortiz. Over the last 24 months, Agent Ortiz and his team have seized more than 200,000 pounds of poisonous narcotics, arrested more than 3,000 human smugglers, and rescued more than 2,000 migrants. Days ago, Agent Ortiz was promoted to Deputy Chief of Border Patrol, and he joins us tonight. Chief Ortiz, please stand.
I promoted him. I love the minorities. I really do.
A grateful nation thanks you and all of the heroes of Border Patrol and ICE. Thank you very much. Thank you. To build on these historic gains, we are working on legislation to replace our outdated and randomized immigration system with one based on merit, welcoming those who follow the rules, contribute to our economy, support themselves financially, and uphold our values.
I wonder how many times he rehearsed this yesterday and today. Over the last 3 days.
Is restoring the rule of law and reasserting the culture of American freedom. Working with Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell. Thank you, Mitch.
I'm gonna make him crack a smile.
And his colleagues in the Senate.
Where's my sexy wife?
Confirmed a record number
She works for you.
187 new federal judges to uphold our Constitution as written. This includes 2 brilliant new Supreme Court justices, Neil Gorsuch and Brett Kavanaugh. Thank you.
He likes beer. He likes beer. That's his drug. Leave my drug alone. My drug is beer.
And we have many in the pipeline. My administration is also defending religious liberty, and that includes the constitutional right to pray in public schools.
What? You're not supposed to be bringing God into schools. What the hell?
In America, we don't punish prayer. We don't tear down crosses. We don't ban symbols.
No, we just shit all over them.
Muzzle preachers and pastors. In America, we celebrate faith. We cherish religion.
Oh, they gotta have that indoctrination because that religion gets you right before the schools, and then the school solidifies it.
We believe in the First Amendment. We also believe in another constitutional right that is under siege all across our country.
What, Christmas?
So long as I am president, I will always protect your Second Amendment right to keep and bear arms.
It's what Jesus wants. Pick up thy sword and carry it across yonder and strike him with a bullet.
In reaffirming our heritage as a free nation, we must remember that America has always been a frontier nation. Now we must embrace the next frontier.
She's yelling at somebody that was just trying to heckle Trump. She's like, stop it. Stop it.
To ensure that the next man and the first woman on the moon will be American astronauts, using this as a launching pad to ensure that America is the first nation to plant its flag on Mars. My administration is also strongly defending our national security and combating
I hear we're already there.
Islamic terrorism.
Oh my God, we're bringing back the oldies. Come on. Beat your chest. He died like a dog.
Breaking plan for peace between Israel and the Palestinians. Recognizing that all past attempts have failed, we must be determined and creative in order to stabilize the region and give millions of young people the chance to realize a better future. 3 years ago, the barbarians of ISIS held over 20,000 square miles of territory in Iraq and Syria. Today, the ISIS territorial caliphate has been 100% destroyed, and the founder and leader of ISIS, the bloodthirsty killer known as al-Baghdadi, is dead. We are joined this evening by Carl and Marcia Mueller. After graduating from college, their beautiful daughter, Carla, became a humanitarian aid worker.
And they killed that little white girl. Don't you feel sorry for that little white girl? They killed the little white girl. That's her parents. The little white girl they killed.
I've known for some time what my life's work is.
We gotta stop them from killing the little white girls. It's all about
In
that.
2013, while caring for
Can't see what this guy's doing.
in Syria, Kayla was kidnapped, tortured, and enslaved by ISIS and kept as a prisoner
have a cigarette.
of al-Baghdadi himself. After more than 500 horrifying days of captivity, al-Baghdadi murdered young, beautiful Kayla. She was just 26 years old. On the night that U.S. Special Forces operations ended al-Baghdadi's miserable life,
Mom looks
the
pissed.
chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff,
Dad
General
looks
Mark
sad.
Milley, received a call in the Situation Room. He was told that the brave men of the elite Special Forces team that so perfectly carried out the operation had given their mission a name, Task Force 814. It was a reference to a special day, August 14th, Kayla's birthday. Carl and Marcia,
Let's wind this up. Come on, enough of the...
forgot Kayla, and neither will we. Thank you.
She looks a lot nicer now. She's looking really mean before. She looks happy now. Oh, he called out my name. There's the general. He just tried to wave. He's like...
Every day, America's men and women in uniform demonstrate the infinite depth of love that dwells
Yeah, them, not
in
you.
the heart. One of these American heroes was Army Staff Sergeant Christopher Hake. On his second deployment to
Another
Iraq
white boy
in
that died?
2008,
Or are you going to bring out
Sergeant Hake wrote a letter
a minority?
to his one-year-old son, Gage. I will be with you again, he wrote to Gage. I will teach you to ride your first bike.
That's
your
it.
first sandbox.
Oh, the white boy
watch your
died.
sports,
They're killing
and
the
see
white
you have
boys.
kids
We
also.
gotta get...
I love you,
We
son.
need...
Take care of your mother. I am always with you, Daddy. On Easter Sunday of 2008, Chris was out on patrol in Baghdad when his Bradley fighting vehicle
Jarhead
was hit
haircut.
by a roadside bomb. That night, he made the ultimate sacrifice for our country. Sergeant Hake now rests in eternal glory in Arlington, and his wife Kelly is in the gallery tonight, joined by their son, who is now a 13-year-old and doing very, very well. To Kelly and Gage, Chris will live in our hearts forever.
He probably sees all kinds of psychotherapists. Doing really well, I bet. He's probably been drinking with his buddies for the last 2 years. Do you see the white victims? The white victims.
The terrorist responsible for killing Sergeant
He knows what he's doing.
was Qasim Soleimani, who provided the deadly roadside bomb that took Chris's life. Soleimani
He's not
was
the only one.
Iranian regime's most ruthless butcher, a monster who murdered or wounded thousands of American
They need
service
some
members
popcorn
in
for
Iraq.
this show.
As the world's top terrorist, Soleimani orchestrated the deaths of countless men, women, and children. Iraq was actively planning new attacks when we hit him very hard.
You see, that's a white boy protecting us. The white boy's being killed, the white girl's being killed, and the white boy's protecting us. That's who it's all about. All right, so what happened to the sound? I hope you've got it.
Husband is back from deployment. He is.
Oh God, they're gonna do one of these
We couldn't keep him waiting any longer.
high school type things. This guy's like, who's this? Are you my daddy? Told you how to get some popcorn. Hold on. I hate these little reunion type things. You know, the type where they're like, don't tell you they're coming home, and then they surprise you, and everybody gets to watch and go, oh. It's like, just tell her you're coming home. The peanut gallery up there.
Welcome home, Sergeant Williams. Thank you very much. As the world bears witness tonight, America is a land of heroes. This is a place where greatness is born, where destinies are forged, and where legends come to life. This is the home of Thomas Edison and Teddy Roosevelt, of many great generals, including Washington, Pershing, Patton, and MacArthur. This is the home of Abraham Lincoln, Frederick Douglass, Amelia Earhart, Harriet Tubman, the Wright brothers, Neil Armstrong, and so many more. This is the country where children learn names like Wyatt Earp, Davy Crockett, and Annie Oakley. This is the place where the Pilgrims landed at Plymouth and where Texas patriots made their last stand at the Alamo. The beautiful, beautiful Alamo. The American nation was carved out of the vast frontier by the toughest, strongest, fiercest, and most determined men and women ever to walk on the face of the earth.
Man, not you.
Our ancestors braved the unknown, tamed the wilderness, settled the Wild West, lifted millions from poverty, disease, and hunger, vanquished tyranny and fascism, ushered the world to new heights of science and medicine, laid down the railroads, dug out the canals, raised up the skyscrapers, and ladies and gentlemen, our ancestors built the most exceptional republic ever to exist in all of human history, and we are making it greater than ever before.
That's a lie. If you're on the side of good.
This is our glorious and magnificent inheritance. We are Americans. We are pioneers. We
didn't inherit nothing. We stole it.
We settled the new world. We built the modern world. And we changed history forever by embracing the eternal truth that everyone is made equal by the hand of Almighty God.
Boy, if Steve Miller wrote this script, he did a pretty good job. The script was perfect for Trump. Perfect. Oh, The platitudes all over it.
America is the place where anything can happen. America is the place where anyone can rise. And here, on this land, on this soil, on this continent, the most incredible dreams come true. This nation is our canvas, and this country is our masterpiece. We look at tomorrow and see unlimited frontiers just waiting to be explored. Our brightest discoveries are not yet known. Our most thrilling stories are not yet told. Our grandest journeys are not yet made. The American age, the American epic, the American adventure has only just begun. Our spirit is still young. The sun is still rising. God's grace is still shining. And my fellow Americans, the best is yet to come. Thank you. God bless you. And God bless America. Thank you very much.
Oh, Nancy's ripping it up. Nancy was ripping it up. Oh, camera's on.
He came out of reality television, and he displayed that talent tonight. 78-minute extravaganza that touched emotions both high and low over those 78 minutes.
She's ripping it up. He stayed on script. I wish he was going to go off.
President Trump refused to hand to Speaker Pelosi. She refused to say it was her high honor and distinct privilege, as speakers usually do, to introduce the President of the United States. Then a ringing declaration from the President. The State of the Union is stronger than ever before, and a litany of economic good news that you can't deny a president who has the good fortune to be in charge when that economic good news is being shared by so many Americans.
Well, that was, yeah, the African-American community. I'll tell you, this guy was pandering left and right. Folks. Oh, the Tuskegee guy. I'm going to go ask my neighbor tomorrow about that. I'm going to see if he saw this. I bet they asked him to go, and he probably said no. So they go, okay, this is the last one. Well,
this is the 11th time I've been in the chamber.
you know, this guy, I gotta have a cigarette. He really, really, it's amazing that they're allowing him to do what he's doing. I feel sorry for the countries that have to come now, you know, like Maduro or whatever. You want back in your country? I want that piece of land so I can build my hotel when I get out of here. I want that piece right there on that beach, right there, that one right there, right. I want to build my hotel there. That's what it's all come down to. He's king. He can do it now. And I'll bet you he's going to try and get our Constitution changed like China did to make their leader king, not king, whatever, president for life. That's what Trump's going to do. I got to go. I'm upset. He took way too long. I'll see if anybody was watching this. Bye.